If you have a burning desire to move abroad and start an online business, this video is going to be for you. Because right now, there is a gap between where you are now and literally doing that thing. You'll find there's resistance, that there's quite a strong pull and resistance that's stopping you from getting there. My promise to you in this video is that I will decrease the resistance by probably about 80%. And I know that's far-fetched, and you're probably thinking, well, who the hell are you and why should I even listen to you? So my name is Tom Sergi. I run a online transformation program called the Gorilla Platoon, and it is honestly it's the most passionate thing in my life, and it allows me to travel the world and live this lifestyle. Like, there is a 0 to 1 gain by doing this. You don't need to make thousands upon thousands of pounds to be happy. You need to be making a few £1,000s, but have freedom to go and pivot and go around the world and go where you want. But right now, there's a gap for you to do so. And the reason, when you do this, they'll feel like there's a pull, like you want to go and do it, but there's a pull to try and go and do the thing. And I made a video last time about moving abroad, starting an online business, and it done quite well, and it got quite a bit of love. So I thought I'll make a spin-off into this, because I spoke about in that last video saying you currently have bad habits. Let's be honest, mate. I had bad habits, you have bad habits, we all have bad habits, but we need to squash and kill them. Now, when you do make the jump and come out here, generally speaking, they will start to fade away. But the analogy I'll use with that's like saying when you jump off the ledge into the water, you're braced for impact. Like, obviously you're braced for impact. That's natural. When you come out here and your only option is to work like a dog to make it happen, you will work like a dog to make it happen. But as I thought about the value I'd given in that video, I thought there's something that's not going to help them enough. We need to decrease the resistance of you jumping actually off the ledge, so you can then do the work, be out here and make it happen. There's still like resistance. So what I've said to you is it's good and it's nice, but it's not enough. And I wanted to really add some more meat to the bones and context, and really get you to this start point of being able to move abroad, work online, develop yourself. And you may think, well, what do I get out of this? Honestly, if you relate to me, if you're like English, northern, like fitness, like women, like training in the gym, like personal growth, self-development, like leveling yourself up, if you're like me and you make this jump and you come to, I'm in Mexico at the minute, and you come to Mexico and you do this, like, I would benefit a lot from that, because we'd probably be friends if we hung out. And then I've got a brother here to bounce off ideas from and help grow with as well. And it's much more fun to do it in a brotherhood. I know this from my time in the parachute regiment, which is elite unit in the army. Like, everything was more fun because you were around the same type of strong characters, masculine men, like doing like hard tasks. Wherever we were in the world doing some like random shit, it was always fun because we had brotherhood. So honestly, that's what I get out of this. Like, if you come and do this, like, I get friends out of this. So this is why I think it's important I make this video, and out of just goodwill. So why is there resistance? There is resistance because of how you see yourself. Honestly, and this is going to sound harsh and brutal, but it's true. How you see yourself, it's a direct reflection of your actions and the beliefs that you have. So there's two things that need fixing there. In this video, we're going to fix your actions, but I'll touch on the beliefs. The beliefs you have were probably either given to you from people in the outside, things you've seen, or things you've been told by people. And ultimately, that has molded your brain into fitting into a certain way, and it's only natural. When I was in the military, my mind was molded to fit what needed to be fit in their agenda, and rightly so. And that's what I'm around. And you've probably got the same limiting beliefs in terms of how much money is possible to be made, how much growth you can make, the fact that you actually do control your own life. But it's weird, there's like a facade when you're in this day-to-day life, like I was, like when I was back in the UK and stuff, or even when I moved to Dubai and I was running that life for a bit. You're in that bubble with that set of beliefs on you. So it's not until you break away you really see things for what they are. It's almost like you get a you get, it's almost like when you wipe your windshield clean when it's been raining, you see the clearness of what life is really like, and you're like, actually, yeah, I can control everything myself. Like, everything is up to you, and it really is up to you. Obviously, if you're watching this and you've had kids and stuff, like, you have people that depend on you, of course you do, but everything is still, it's your fault, and everything is your problem, and but you can control everything at the same time. So you do have autonomy, but the people above have done very, very well at like managing to almost think that you don't have the control and you're bound by jobs and wages and taxes and fucking locations and all this sort of stuff. And it's very clever the way they do it. It's all about control, isn't it? But that obviously that's a topic for another day. But the point I'm making is that is then reflected in how you see yourself, and your self-image is how you will act in every situation in the world. Every situation where you're like passive. You might have heard of the term NPC. So when you're acting NPC, that is you acting at your true core self-image, which if you're not where you are right now, if you're not where you want to be right now, you know that it doesn't actually serve you. So we have to fix that. And I've done videos on self-image transformation. You can go and watch that after this if you find this that sort of stuff interesting. Honestly, to be honest, whether you find it interesting or not, it is kind of a non-negotiable if you want to get to where you need to be. You need to develop that self-image to being someone that demands more. Like if I threw you on hot coal rocks, you would jump off them as fast as possible because it'd be so uncomfortable and hot. You need to have a hot coal rock line for every area and domain of your life. Like for me, my hot coal rock line is I will not live in a cold, wet country because it makes me feel fucking shit. My hot coal rock line is I need to be somewhere that is sunny and a minimum of 25 degrees. That's just a hot coal rock line for me. My level of body fat that I'm okay with having is that has a certain threshold where I will just not go above it. It doesn't matter how much I need to push through this bulk. I will cut back down because that's my hot coal rock line for my self-image. You will have that for things like cleanliness of your room, but when it gets so dirty, you'll clean it, but a few little bits of dirt and you'll leave it. Your haircut is another one. Like I have to get my haircut every week, as you can probably tell, but you may be able to leave it 3 weeks because that's your hot coal rock line. So it's a case of bringing that up. Now, what we're going to discuss today is 3 of probably the biggest habits that young modern men are doing that are really thickening that resistance to going and doing this. And that is really what all we need to do with anything in life that you want to achieve is you need to decrease the resistance between you starting and actually doing the thing. Once you start and do the thing, life's a lot better. Like people always say, the worst bit about going to the gym is just putting on your kit and get yourself in there. Once you're one set in, you're okay. And where that actually refers to is you're in homeostasis, and to break out homeostasis is like, it's a little bit uncomfortable, you don't really like it, but once you're out of it, it's not a problem. You're in homeostasis right now, and your homeostasis line is so thick and dense that there's a lot we need to move up to get there. So if I reflect on 3 things that were probably holding me back, that I've stopped doing and now the resistance is a lot less, that's what we're going to go into in this video. The first one, the biggest one, for all men across the world is if you continue to masturbate, you will just not do this. And what the modern day, I heard this on the internet from someone, the modern men of our society today are in their room with a full belly and empty balls. Of course, you're not going to have the drive to go and do something uncomfortable or scary when you're as content as, primarily you're content. If you think back in the wild, when the cavemen were in that state, it's because they'd hunted all day, they'd eaten it, and then they'd made their future babies. So of course they were content and rolled over and went to sleep. But the modern day man can get that really fast with no hunting and no effort. And all he has to do is pull the head off it and order some Deliveroo. And then you're there with a full belly and empty balls. Honestly, if you take one thing away from this video, just stop doing it. Like right now, stop doing it. I've said it before on this channel, I'll say it again on this channel. The biggest cap on a man is doing that. Because as well, going back to the self-image thing, how you see yourself is someone that does that. And let's be honest, does the man that you need to become to create a good, strong business, strong friendships and strong relationships, is he doing that really? Like, if you were to picture his ideal day, at what point of the day would you write down wanks? You wouldn't. Like, it just wouldn't happen, so stop doing it. And the moment you stop doing it, it's not even that the empty balls thing is one thing, but the next point is like, you just see yourself as a better human being. You see yourself as above everyone else that does do that shit. And I hope it sounds arrogant, and it should sound arrogant, because like, I'm better than anyone that does that. Fact. Mentally, I'm stronger than anyone that does that. So you need to do the same. And that honestly is one of the longest levers you can pull to getting to where you need to. If you're trying to do this and you're pulling the end of it, I tell you now, I can't help you if you keep doing that sort of stuff. just stop fucking doing it. I'm no better than you, so just stop doing it. And that's honestly, when I heard that from someone else, I was like, yeah, fucking right, they're no better than me, like, so I'll just stop doing it, and I just stopped. Like, don't make a big fucking thing of it. Don't track your days, how many times you've not done it. Don't like come up with these weird shit. Just stop fucking doing it. And that may be poor advice. That may be, oh well, it's not just as it is as easy as that. No, it really is. It really is as easy as that. Replace it with something else that you should be doing instead, and over time it just gets easier. Just stop fucking doing it, mate. Don't make a big song and dance out of it. Just stop doing it, and your life will get infinitely better. Just trust. But if you've watched any of my videos in the past and you thought, yeah, this guy speaks a little bit of good advice, just blindly trust me on this one. You know it as I say, you know it makes sense, doesn't it? It makes fucking sense. Just fucking listen to me. Stop doing it, and your life will be a lot better. Now the next one, you'll probably be able to think, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'll stop doing that. Checking social media before at least 12 o'clock in the day. And the reason I say that is, obviously, yeah, you know, it's like, it's bad, oh, social media bad, like, whatever, fuck all that. Why it's going to mess you up is, let's say you need to sit down and you need to think, you need to use your brain, you need to organise your thoughts, you need to do long, boring tasks, but they carry weight. And they might not even be boring, like, let's say for me, scripting out a video where there's nothing else going on, or just writing out a video, or writing points in the video and thinking how I'm going to organise my thoughts. That might seem boring to someone. I really enjoy it, but it might seem boring. But there'll be tasks like that within your given work field that you'll need to do. Now, if you have got onto social media where there's like pop up here, message, notification, weird shit dance, bird with arse out, friend message, girl message, like you've got so much information that's going bum, 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 and it's being processed in your brain. Your brain's like on a fucking really fast wheel trying to process all that information. Now when you go to pull out of that and do something that requires almost like one brain, one thing is happening at once, it's going to be very difficult to go from that real like rapid like brain to like boom, 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 boom. The cadence of your brain is just completely off. And it's very hard to go from fast to slow. It's much easier to go the other way around. That's why I'm telling you to go on your phone like in the afternoon. So you wake up in the morning because you've just been asleep for 8-9 hours. You've hydrated. You're in a good space. Then you do your work. You don't check your phone. You don't check your messages. You get that done first. You eat the frog. You get the win, and then you can go on your phone. It's much easier to go from a slow brain to a fast brain because obviously these apps will do it all for you. Any of these apps will just turn your brain real rapid and into a vegetable really fast. But if you've turned it into a vegetable really fast in the beginning, God help you trying to do that work. God fucking help you trying to do that work. So like, we've got two issues. You've emptied your balls the night before for no reason. You weren't even with another human being. You just did it because it's habitual. And then you wake up in the morning, you check your phone, and you've got notifications. So now you've got empty balls and a brain that's like a fucking vegetable. Of course you're not going to be able to work. Of course you're not going to be able to get the work done and boost your self-image that you can work and create something that's good and of value. Obviously, obviously your self-image is never going to improve if you don't fix those 2 points. So I would really encourage you to take those 2 points seriously. And the last one, again, will be slightly uncomfortable. If you're around people that are negative, that drag you down, obviously you've heard like you're the average of the 5 people you spend your most time with, but just look at it like this. It's the same as what the phone does to your brain. Those people are doing kind of the same, but it's different. So those people are on a certain level of frequency. I'm not sure if you've heard about frequencies. Just Google it after this. There's loads. You've got like actualization at the top one and shame at the bottom. Most people that are negative are in a state of like fear, or they're complaining, and obviously you know that's going to be low down on the frequency state, obviously. But so if I sat here and complained to you for this whole video, I would be able to lower your frequency state from whatever it was down to my frequency, and it's much easier to lower it down than it is to come up, like with everything in life, funnily enough. So if you're around these people and you let them be negative to you, they will pull you down to that state. Now, the same as when your brain was working really fast trying to do slow work, if you're in that low frequency state, it's going to be very difficult for you to think bigger, think with optimism, think that you can go and take on the world when you're in this low. Obvious, that makes sense to you when I say it, and that's what people say when they're like, "Don't hang around negative people. You're the average of the 5 people." That's what they're getting at. That's like the bro science version of what they're trying to tell you. They're trying to tell you that these people are low frequency. When you're low frequency, you just can't think and make good decisions. So if you stack all three of those together, if you empty your balls in the evening, not by a woman, just by yourself, you wake up in the morning, you've gone on social media, now your brain's a vegetable, you've got empty balls, and then you're around people that are also negative, saying, oh, the world's tough, like, this is hard, oh, yeah, the missus got me doing this, or, oh, I don't know how all these people get this money, or the rich people are evil. If you're around people like that, good luck trying to get any work done. Good luck trying to set any ambitious goals. Good luck trying to, like, take even 1 foot towards those goals. I tell you, I really feel for people that are like me, that want to pursue greatness and get to the next level, but have those weighted shackles on them, because that must be some fucking 100-kilo shackle right there. So if you release those shackles, trust me when I say that resistance to walk forward, make the action becomes a hell of a lot easier. So, action steps from this video: stop wanking. Straight away, stop wanking. Secondly, don't go on your phone before 12 o'clock. Like, that's it. That's just a hard rule. Just don't do it. Obviously, you turn your alarm off on your phone. You can turn your notifications off on your phone, so I don't get any messages that pop up to my home screen. I have to go on apps to find messages. Do that as well. That's like another mini action step. And then, honestly, just audit who you're spending your time with and when they're dragging you down. And you'll know when they're dragging you down, because you're thinking that you want to grow and be a certain person. You'll feel when someone's being negative and, like, not on that same wavelength. So, like, honestly, just cut them out for a little bit. Like, you don't have to tell them you're going to cut them out. Just don't see them as often. It's not a problem. It's your life. Like, you don't owe them anything. You owe it to yourself. If you want to get to where you need to, unfortunately, this is just the thing you've got to do. You've heard people say it before: don't hang around people that aren't going to, like, take you to the next level. But honestly, I don't think people follow that, because then you're like, well, if I don't hang around these people, then I'm going to be alone. Honestly, what's worse? You want to live in purgatory of where you currently live, when you're this happy but you got this much potential being wasted, or you want to be a little bit more miserable, live by yourself, but then you slingshot to the next level. You're gonna have to go through some discomfort either way, mate. So whether you decide to live in purgatory or you go through discomfort to slingshot, the choice is yours. Obviously, you don't have to take any of this advice. I'm just telling you what's worked for me and why I'm where I am. And I gave you the results in the last video. If you want to watch the last video, treat yourself. Go watch that. But I hope this has opened your mind, because that resistance is the main reason why you can't get to where you need to. So if we can decrease the resistance, and then you get here, and then you understand the things that you needed to get here and do when you're here, like, you stack those together, you're going to be halfway on your way. And as soon as you're making a couple of grand and you're here living, like, once you're making a couple of grand and you're here living and you're, like, not tied to anyone, and you do what you want, that's a beautiful platform to pivot from. And if you're here by yourself and you've not got other people, like, bringing you down, which you won't, because if you're here and you find people, like, you just cut them off straight away, straight at the hip, you cut them off. It's not a problem. Like, everyone's here traveling anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's a beautiful platform to then launch off to get yourself to the next level, the next level. And I'm only a few steps ahead of you, by the way. So if you're thinking of doing this, I'm only 3 months ahead of you, just over. So as you see me progress, I'll be able to extract and tell more stories about it. But these are my stories so far, and I hope they add value to you. If they did, subscribe to the channel, because you'll see the journey grow. Like the video, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one.